Greetings hobbyists, this is Artisans of All, and in this video we're looking at 5 awesome free add-ons for hard surface modelling in Blender. So the add-ons we're going to look at today all come from Kushiro, who does a range of amazing add-ons, some free and some paid for. I've already covered Simple Bend on the channel, as well as Mesh Copier. They're really great add-ons, those are paid for and I use them a lot. And if you want to check out those videos, there's some links in the description. But we're going to talk about 5 add-ons today that are free. In fact, we're going to talk about 6, but I've cobbled 2 of them together into one bit, and you'll see why when we get there. But we're going to have a look at these 5 add-ons and why they're really useful in your day-to-day Blender use, and they're free, so you might as well get them. They all come from Gumroad, but I would suggest that it's a nice thing to add a little bit of money as a tip, just because you'll see how useful and how much time these are going to save, and obviously a lot of effort's gone into creating these. So the first one we're going to talk about is Trim Mesh. Let's just take this object, we're going to edge mode and we've got this edge selected, and I'm going to right click, and right down the bottom of my right click menu is all of our add-ons from Kushiro. I'm going to click Trim Mesh and you can see we basically get a chamfer, a single-sided bevel, and we can increase the size of this if we want to. Now what's cool about this is we can also change the tilt direction, so we can make it more extreme in one side than the other. So if you haven't applied a scale to this, it gives you an extra element of control, and we can also change the tilt direction to change the angle of this in the different direction. Let's just put that back to 0 and this back to 0 as well. We also have some options where we can do a slice, so we've just got a cut through. We can add more slice cuts, and then in this instance the size says where this starts, and then our slice offset tells how far apart those slices are. So really pretty handy. Let's just go back to the chamfer. Once we've done that, you can also do things in vertex mode. So for example, if I select that vertex there and we do Trim Mesh as well, it always works off of the normals of whatever you've selected. And this is where this is going to get important. If I start dragging this up in terms of size, you'll notice we just cut through that other vertex, which normally we would have an issue with. If this was going to be, let's say, a bevel, let's just come here and, no, let's go into edge mode and do a bevel here and go to there, it gets stuck. We can't go any further. We can press C to clamp it, but we get stuck at this point. So what's nice about this is we can now right click and come down to Trim Mesh and then do that, and this will just cut through everything. So we can just keep going as much as we want. Now eventually it will get to the point where it starts affecting the other side. Notice that it doesn't actually affect it at this point. So it's not like we've got a boolean object just cutting through. This is really important. It's not until we get to this edge that it then starts slicing through that part as well. So we've got a really nice level of control, and again we can change the angle as much as we want. So a really nice tool for doing things quickly. The only limitation on this is that we can't do multiple edges at a time. If I've got these 2 selected and we go to Trim Mesh, it's only going to do the active one. So just something to bear in mind. So next one, we've got Quick Fillet. So let me just demonstrate this. So what we've got is a series of edges here, and there's 3 importantly. Now all we're going to do is go into edge mode, right click, and we're going to come down to where it says Quick Fillet. And you'll see this does a grid fill type function, but it works out where everything should be, and if we just come here and then shade smooth, that's looking pretty nice. Now if we just undo this quickly, this probably isn't looking great with this flat edge, so let's just go into vertex mode and I'll select there. Let's just come up here and yeah, we want it sphere, so let's just G and move that to somewhere around there, and this will probably look a little bit better. Edge mode, right click, and come down here and Quick Fillet. So there you go. So a really nice way of rounding off different shapes, working off 3 edges. Now there are some things that I want to just mention about this. If we just come into this object here and go into vertex mode, there are certain things that won't work here. So if I try to do it on this one, it's not going to work. So there's Quick Fillet, and we say we've got an issue, and there's 2 main issues here. The first one is that we need to have the same number of vertices on each of our edges. So in this instance, I need to subdivide this so it's at the same level. I think there's 7. Now if we select this and try to do the same thing, we're still going to get another error, and that is because this vertex here is not connected to the other one. So I'd sorted out all of these issues over here, but I just wanted to show them so that you knew the limitations of this. So let's just A, M, and then merge by distance. And now if we right click and quick fillet, this is going to work fine. I should also mention that there is an offset function, so if you're not quite happy with the way this has worked, you can rotate this around a little bit to make it work in a different way. So that's just something to bear in mind. So that's quick fillet. A really nice option for creating curved surfaces, and we could always subdivide this to make this a little bit smoother. Now the next ones we're going to talk about are two add-ons together. And they basically do the same thing but work off slightly different algorithms. And that is safe inset and padded inset. So we'll have a look at this one first. Let's go into face mode and select this. And normally if I was to inset this, you'll notice how quickly we start getting problems with overlapping shapes over here. So this is an issue, and we normally have to then try and fix this. It's a real pain. Well, if I right click and we'll use safe inset first of all, what this has is some options so that as we drag things across, it doesn't cause those problems. Now there's some really nice settings here. The first is the threshold. Let's just up that to, let's say, 0.5. And what that's going to do is now say that there's a minimum gap and it will stop. So you'll notice as this got to the point where we're 0.5 units apart, it stopped trying to bring them any closer together, which is really nice because we could come somewhere here and then maybe go into vertex mode and select those and then align them if we needed to. So that's a nice option. Let's just come back to here. The other things we can do if we safe inset is that if we put this down to 0, we can merge our results. So if we drag that here, now the vertices start merging together, though if they start getting further apart, this will stop and you just have to up your merge distance to the point where they join. So a really nice tool, but it does have some weird effects when you get to certain thresholds. But all in all, I think this is great. Now the other option, if we just come home to this one and select A for the face, is that we have the padding inset. Now this is a similar idea. As I said, it just works off of a different algorithm, and if we just drag this across, you can see how this is working in a different way. It's joining these parts together to not leave as many problems, and we just get smaller and smaller. Again, maybe has a little bit of a weird instance here where we might want to select these vertices and align them just to make them a little bit better. That align function is from machine tools. But either way, I think this is a great function, and we get some other options like flat concave, which you'll see rounds off all of the corners as we go, but still allows them to connect together nicely. So that's really good. We also have this connected. If we don't do that, then once we've got this confirmed, it's creating, oh, let's turn that off. It's creating a separated part, but this is still part of the same object, so we might need to separate that. Let's just undo that. So a couple of add-ons doing the same thing but giving some different options. Oh, I should say here where we've got this bit that disappears, if we change our alignment, we can get that to the point where they separate as well. So there we go. That's two add-ons for insetting, which work really nicely together. Our next one is safe engon, and this is just going to speed up some cleanup processes for some issues we often get with booleans. So I'm just going to Alt and W to bring in box cutter. I'm just going to cut out some sort of shape like that, I think. And then let's just come here and apply all of our modifiers. Let's come into edge mode, and we can see that we've got Blender automatically setting up some edges here. It's put an edge to this corner, which is okay, though going up to that corner isn't probably the best. And then we've got this one here, and this is going to cause us some issues. If I come to this edge and Control and B to bevel, we get stuck on this edge, which isn't great. And if I want to select all of these and Control and B, we can sometimes get some weird issues, though it hasn't happened too much here, but we could get some problems if that went down to somewhere here. In fact, let's just K and do that to there, and then I can just demonstrate that issue. So let's just there, and Control and B. You can see here this bevel is not being done correctly because this edge is affecting it, though we could turn off the loop slide if we wanted to. Let's just undo that, and W to come out of box cutter. So if I just right click and then we come down to safe engon and click it, you'll notice what this does is it tries to put all of the attaching edges as central to these edges as possible. What that means is that now if we've got a bevel here, we're not really going to hit it because we're going to hit the other edges first, or if we're just going around the outside and doing what we did earlier, we haven't got anything that's going to get in the way of that bevel and cause any issues, which just simply means we don't have to come and click loop slide. Now this doesn't always work perfectly, but it does save some time doing some knife cuts, though it can create some engons in other faces. But if you're doing this for 3D printing like I am, then this just isn't really an issue. And to be honest, if this is hard surface modeling and this isn't going to deform, then it shouldn't be an issue if you've got an engon full stop, unless you're then going to use a subdivision surface later. So that's safe for engon. And then finally, we've got attach align. Now, if we just use these two cubes and I wanted to put this cube onto here, which is something we quite regularly want to do, so basically this face onto here, what I can do is come up to my snapping with face on and align rotation to target, click here, GB, get that face and drag it over to this face, and we've got this aligned. Except for it's not really aligned, like, well, it is, but this is sort of slightly odd orientation. It also was a little bit annoying to do, just because of the angle of the view that I needed to get to. Whereas if I select both of them, go into face mode, I can select this face there, shift select that face there. It's always the last selected face that we're going to align to. Click attach align, and they've aligned, and they're really nicely centered as well. But we do have this angling that's a bit odd, so if I just come into edge mode, I can click here, right click, and then once again come down to attach align, and then it aligns everything perfectly. So really, really nice as a tool to speed up your life. Now, one thing I should say as well, which is really cool, is that at the moment, if I just bring out the end panel and come to item, this has got its rotation stored because I haven't applied it, but even if I control an A and apply the rotation, this will still work. So we still haven't, actually, let's do this face now. Let's just do a different one, and then right click, attach align, and then once again, edge mode, click, click, right click, and then attach align. So a really nice tool just to speed up that alignment process. So there we go, there's my top 5 free add-ons from Kushiro. You'll have to get those from Gumroad because you can't get free add-ons from Superhive. They have a minimum payment, which is why these are on Gumroad. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button, it helps spread the video around. If you want to help a bit further, tell me in the comment section which of these you think are the most helpful. Or let me know if there are other free add-ons that you think that I should be covering on the channel. And finally, if you want this file so you can try out these different add-ons yourself in exactly the same way as I've done here, it's going to be available on the Patreon, which is for anyone who wants to put a little bit of money towards helping the channel. And it's the patrons that really give me the time to be able to make these videos, so as always, thank you very much to the patrons. Hope to see you in the next video, and have a great day.